This insane situation is taking over the UK. Hello, you gorgeous donuts. Today, we're going to be covering the John Pork situation because this is getting out of hand and everybody's talking about it. Firstly, we're going to talk about who John Pork is. We're going to explain all the lore around him and the horrific situation that's just occurred. We're going to cover all of the mysterious, disturbing side characters in this situation that keep trying to attack John. And we're also going to cover the insane response from the public where there's literally riots in the street because of this situation. Let's get into it. So John Pork is a virtual influencer who has amassed lots of followers. He first appeared on social media in 2018 where he was doing vlog content and people started to invest their time into him. He could be described as a half man, half pig character, and he really rose to fame when people made it a meme that he kept on calling them. As you can see here, this is somebody screen recording a phone call from John Pork. It is weird how every single person that he rings already has his number saved and his face. I don't know if that's just because he's at a level of fame where this is how it occurs, but it is a little bit alarming that all of us have John Pork's number already. We just don't know it. That ringtone that you just heard there has become infamous with John. Like, people are literally hearing it at work and thinking that John Pork is calling their phone. And this just proves how famous John has become and how his career's just been ascending ever since 2018. This TikTok has over 250,000 likes. The pull of John Pork is insane. The aura around this man. Can it be stopped? Now, people have said that you can't decline a call from John Pork, otherwise he will take matters into his own hands. People have literally made horror movies about this.
Shit! What am I gonna do now? Not a great time for some spam calls, sorry.
No! What? You can only accept the call from John. You can only decline John once. Everyone knows this.
Yeah!
Oh. Shit. Shit. Oh, f***ing sake, man. I'm not good with horror. Okay, you know this about us, guys. If you're a regular on this channel, I can't do horror. I really can't do it. And you know, like John Pork hiding behind a tree, this is really difficult for me. This is like one of my fears. Sometimes I've been known to faint at the sight of blood, so it's all right. You're all right, son. Don't worry.
Who are you?
Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ.
Go away. I'm gonna call the police.
The police can't help you now, sir. It's John Pork. Well, that's my alpha male reputation out the window. Kids are gonna start egging me house again. That's great. I mean, you know, anybody that calls you from their iPad is a person that, you know, is definitely a one-of-one character. A unique soul, you could say. Who's ringing people off their iPads unless they're children? Blood pressure's going through the roof! Now, that isn't an accurate representation of who John Pork is. That's just an adaptation of what could happen if you decline his call. I do want it to be known that John Pork is actually a really nice guy and does help the community quite often. However, despite the noble work of John Pork in his community, recently, he was murdered! Who murdered John Pork on my watch? How could they do this to a half-man, half-pig?
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening and welcome.
An influencer by the name John Pork has been found dead in the banks of the Colorado River. First responders arrived at the scene early this morning after several eyewitnesses spotted the lifeless body. Currently, the FBI is researching the cause of death, but one crucial piece of evidence points to a homicide.
These streets aren't safe anymore, guys. You know, what is the world coming to? When a half pig, half man person can't even walk down the street in safety, I don't even know what to say anymore. I genuinely don't. We need our streets back. Because this is the final straw. Now, I know some people might be, you know, having a laugh at home, but please refrain from finding the comedic aspect in this, because this is literally a person that has lost their life. And how would you feel if someone from your family had been taken away from you in this sort of manner? You know, well, John is a part of someone's family. Now, after the suspected murder of John Pork, an entire law has broken out of what has happened and how this occurred. And loads of people online have been confused about this, and I'm gonna break it down step by step. I've got you covered. Of course I do. What else have I got to do in me life? So it all started when John Pork was walking down an alleyway with his best friend Pengu. They were reminiscing on good times until one man in an alleyway found John Pork and shot him dead. Why would he do this? Attacking an unarmed man. Wow, what a pussy. A coward, some would say. Two friends can't even walk down an alleyway anymore without getting shot up. This country's in the gutter. The person that shot John Pork is described as a half man, half mouse figure and goes by the name Tim Cheese. A very evil name, I would say. Right, somebody you're probably not going to have on your Christmas card list. Like, oh, should I write a Christmas card to Tim this year? Nah, not Tim Cheese. He's an awful bastard, him. Now, you would think after murdering someone in the cold of the night, you would kind of escape or just kind of go under the radar for a little bit. However, Tim decided to upload a video to TikTok explaining what he did.
I'm Tim Cheese, and I killed John Pork. And
okay, well, straight away, just confessing it online. These killers are getting colder and colder by the day. Also, speaking of being cold, I can't lie, he looks pretty, right, Tim Cheese is pretty fit. I can't, like, look at him. Like, are you telling me you would, are you, really? Wouldn't even need 2 pints, me. Tim Cheese.
that day, the day I snuck up behind John. You all think you know the story. You don't. John Pork, he was never...
I mean, look how cold he is as a killer. He knew he was going to take a life that night. And bro's just standing like this. Like nothing's the matter. Like he's waiting for the bus.
He thought he was untouchable. He thought he was a legend. But legends fade. All it took was a message. One message. And he walked right into my sights. I pulled the trigger. One shot. One legend. Erased.
I mean, this has got to be one of the smoothest characters of all time. What? The guy speaks like he's in a Roald Dahl novel. What is going on? Everything is romanticized. How many thesauruses has this man read? Incredible wordplay. Shame about his, you know, murdering tendencies. But you know, we've all got a past. Now, Tim Cheese has said himself that John Pork was too big for his boots, and that's why he murdered him. A lot of people have got different theories why Tim Cheese really did murder John Pork. One of the main factors people believe is because John Pork was actually porking Tim Cheese's wife, Tina Cheese. Now, if this is the case, you could say that, you know, Tim Cheese was well within his rights to take a life that night. A lot of us would like to take matters into our own hands if this happened to us, if laws did not exist. Tina Cheese has... Tina Cheese actually has took to social media to tell her side of the story.
My name is Tina Cheese, and I want to share my last phone call with my husband, Tim Cheese.
You know, these days, nothing is sacred in a relationship, is it? You know, two people split up, everything comes out. It's, you know, to the same in the animal, half man world, I'm afraid.
This has gone on long enough. Come back home.
Home? You mean the place where I was nothing but a possession?
You were my wife, Tina. You still are.
No, Tim. I was your prisoner. John Pork showed me what love actually is. And you took him from me.
So this says to me, this was the reason why Tim Cheese allegedly did it. He seems very troubled by this, and Tina clearly loved John Pork. So, you know, there's definitely warrant to murder here.
He listened. He never controlled me. He never hurt me. Unlike you.
He's gone, Tina. He's nothing.
And this really makes me lose respect for Tim Cheese. You know, I did call him cold when I first seen him, but he just seems abusive, and honestly, he doesn't seem like the type of person he doesn't look like the character I would want in a partner. And I'm glad Tina actually got out of that relationship, because obviously she just wouldn't have been happy being with Tim. It's unfortunate that she did find love, but her lover got murdered in the cold of the night. Now, a couple of people have been trying to track down Tim Cheese to murder him. There's a side character called Marvin Beak. Now, a lot of people have said that this guy is kind of the worst person in the universe of John Pork. He doesn't actually do anything or add anything to the overall plot of this. The kids have been calling him Auralus, and honestly, I have to agree.
I'm Marvin Beak, and I'm here to expose Tim Cheese. You all know him. Timothy Danny Cheese. That filthy, notorious hitman. Tim is nothing but a rat.
It's just not doing it for us. I don't know what it is, but Marvin Beak, he just doesn't... You know when you look at someone, you're like, oh my god, I want him to lead me into battle. Marvin isn't giving us those vibes. He doesn't look like somebody that I would want to follow. Now, on the night of John Pork's life allegedly getting taken away from him, there was actually a witness who witnessed Tim Cheese apparently murdering him. And this was by a man called Agent 5.5. Now, every person we've seen so far in this universe is AI generated. However, this is just like a normal bloke, and I don't really understand it. And because he witnessed this, Tim Cheese actually held him captive.
5.5 here. I was on my way to turn in the secret files concerning the death of John Pork, who was killed by Tim Cheese. Tim Cheese tried to take me out. Good try. It's gonna take a whole army. Now listen.
This is one part of the story I've really been trying to figure out. Why is this man full human? Why isn't he half animal, half human? It's really kind of bugging me. I don't know how he got, tied up in this universe. Obviously, it hasn't treated him well. You can see here, his t-shirt is ripped. His hairline's all the way back as well. I'm not too sure if, it was further forward before he got into this universe. I imagine, the stress has really taken its toll on this man. And whilst Tim Cheese had Agent 5.5 as his prisoner, Tim went to chill on his bed when he got a phone call from a familiar voice.
Who's calling now? It's 3 in the morning. How? But I killed him.
He's only alive! John's alive! Wait, how did he survive? I saw John get sniped! How did the man survive a sniper bullet? I mean, he is half man, half pig, so maybe they just killed the man of him. Or the pig. I'm not too sure which one he'd rather, kind of let go of.
What? Who the hell is visiting me now?
Oh shit! It's John, bitch! You can't kill him. Who do you think you are, Tim Cheese? You can't kill John Pork. He's invincible. He's immortal. He has the resurrection stone. This man created the Deathly Hallows. Now, one person I am really happy for, obviously, is Tina Cheese, because she's got a man back, right? My man is back in her life. Love it for her. Thriving as always, Tina Cheese. What a woman. Now, obviously, it's great that John's back, but one thing that is interesting is the government really haven't kind of intervened during all of this. Neither have the police. No authorities have really kind of, took control of this situation. They've kind of just watched from afar and let it play out, which is interesting. They're meant to protect the public, and they're not even protecting one of their own. A pig! And it's great to see people in the comments are so buzzing that John Pork is alive and well. Here are some of his fans. Whoever likes my comment is racist. And then 4,000. So... don't know whether that's a positive thing. I'm on Team Tim Cheese and Simon Claw. Now, you might be asking, who the f*** Simon Claw? Well, many side characters are trying to get into the law to kind of have their name in the spotlight alongside John Pork and Tim Cheese. And the only person who successfully has managed to insert themselves into the law is Simon Claw.
My name is Simon Claw, and this is my story. For the headlines, before the chaos, we were just 3 kids on the same block. A pig, a rat, and a panther. Then Pork got famous. Started shaking hands with strangers and forgetting the ones that starved next to him.
I I get it. So Simon Clow was friends with John Pork before he got all the money, before he got all the fame. And then when John Pork became famous and got too big for his boots, he just left Simon Clow in the shadows. See, the more I learn about John Pork, the more I don't know if I'm actually on his side. The more I kind of wish he stayed murdered. I know that's a really harsh thing to say, guys, but I'm just speaking my truth right now.
Behind, did what we had to do, just to keep the lights on. Then came the night, blue lights, one way out. One of us had to run, so I made the choice. I took the fall, didn't flinch, didn't fold. They locked me up and threw away the key. 5 years later, Pork, not a letter, not a word.
At this point, right, I've had a lot of messages from people saying, which side are you on, Cam? Cam, you need to take a side here. I feel like I might be on Simon Clow and Tim Cheese's side. The more I learn about John Pork, the more I think he's a little bit of a dick. I think he's a sausage. Okay, I think he's an absolute sausage with bacon ears on, right, and not the good type. I'm not talking Hellman's, guys, I'm talking, you know, the gutter of the gutter bacon ears. Tim has been there for his friends when they're literally in prison, when he gets no value of still being friends with them. That's the sign of a true friend. John Pork ditches them. The first sign of struggle. That's not a man. However, I don't feel like a lot of people are on Tim Cheese and Simon Clow's side. There's been protests in the street for the release of John Pork. I thought he was already released. However, people seem to think he's still locked up somewhere. Firstly, this guy organised a protest in Ireland.
Lads, I'm going to be having a John Pork protest in Dublin City on Saturday the 5th of April at 12 o'clock on Grafton Street. We are going to march down Grafton Street in support of John Pork.
Boo! Absolute boo! Off, John Pork fans. If John Pork has no haters, I am dead. Imagine that. Your fella plans a John Pork protest. God, not me. Wouldn't catch me doing that. My girlfriend is not going to have the taken out of her for me organising this anytime soon. I get it, okay, your goat was murdered, okay, it's horrible. I can really sympathise with your side of things. However, I do feel like he got what was coming to him, if I'm being honest. He did steal Tim Cheese's wife. However, Tim Cheese now, I think if it is an abuser, and do I want to side with an abuser? I don't think I do, actually. I think I'm just Simon Clow, actually. You know, I'm not Tim Cheese or John Pork. I'm just a Simon Clow lover. I need to see what the protests look like. Okay, I didn't realise John Pork had fans like that. That's pretty cool. Imagine going to your street corner and chanting for someone you believe in to free your goat. This country still is patriotic. I imagine this has lifted the spirits of John, seeing many children chant his name in unison. Oh my god, they've got signs. It's like the crowd in Big Brother. This is, like, how many people is there? This is one of the wildest things I've ever seen. I've never seen one half pig, half human man create such a strong cult like this. The man could run for Prime Minister and probably win. To be fair, Keir Starmer has not been seen since the start of the John Pork protests. I have no words. I have no words. I don't know if this restores my faith in humanity or just takes it out. Just all in general. I'm just gobsmacked. What am I witnessing here? This is wild. How has John Pork got no haters? One thing I don't really agree with are all of the protests are having an effect on the actual working people of society.
Oh, the next generation is so on.
They're standing up for something they believe in. We could never do that. Not like the younger generation. Oh, they're not f***ed. They're built for the future. They're gonna change the world. Guys, quick question. If you had a child and you heard them in their bedroom chanting Free John Pork, would you be angry or sad? Coming from a Tim Cheese fan. Not a Tim Cheese... No, a Simon Clow fan. Now, let me know what you think about the entire John Pork situation. Is this ruining your life like it's ruined mine for the last month? Have you recovered? What's your theories on John Pork? Let me know. Let me know which side of the table you're on as well. Who are you supporting? And if you want to watch another video from me, Donuts, make sure you click this one, okay? And I'm gonna leave you with this video. Thank you very much for watching.
Kirkham, baby.